This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video I'll take a look at the latest 3-year-old division news. And the next graded stakes in this division is the Grade 2 Jim Dandy at 1 1/8 at Saratoga on Saturday, July 26th. And that race marks the return of Derby and Belmont winner Sovereignty. But let's start by recapping the Haskell Stakes that was run earlier today at Monmouth Park. And that really was one heck of a horse race. Journalism picked up his 3rd Grade 1 win of the year, but it was not easy. Now, Goal Oriented, my top choice, and Gosger, your Preakness runner-up, they got the jump on Journalism as expected in this event, and those two were battling down the stretch, and Journalism was starting to gain momentum down the center of the track under Umberto Rispoli, and he gave him a good ride in this race, and Journalism did get up in the late stages, and he scored by a half length. He was 40 cents on the dollar, so he was the heavy favorite. And Gosger did edge Goal Oriented by a neck in a good fight for the runner-up spot, and it was more than 7 lengths back to Bracket Buster in 4th. Now, Burnham Square was the biggest disappointment in this race. He was last and outrun for most of the race, and he rallied mildly, and he finished 5th. Now, the final time was 1:48.15 seconds, and the 3-year-old title is very much in reach for Journalism still. He has those 3 Grade 1 wins, but most likely he's going to have to defeat Sovereignty at some point this year if he expects to get that title. And now it is Sovereignty's turn in the Jim Dandy Stakes next week to run his race. And let's look at the latest workouts for the 5 Jim Dandy hopefuls. Now, Sovereignty had his 4th and final Jim Dandy move at Saratoga on July 19th, and he worked 4 furlongs in 49.82 seconds, 12th best of 41. He worked solo here and got his final quarter in 24.43 seconds, and he galloped out 5 furlongs in 103.22. He was a bit slow into stride. He looked a little bit hot in this workout, but this was just a maintenance move, and he looks ready to run next weekend. Now, Baeza coming in from the West Coast for trainer John Sheriffs, and he does come into the Jim Dandy with 5 workouts since the Belmont Stakes. And he had back-to-back bullet workouts on June 27th and July 4th, and I mentioned those workouts in previous videos. And his final Jim Dandy move was 5 furlongs in 59.80, and he was the only horse to work at that distance at Santa Anita on July 18th. So it does appear that he is maturing. He's looked much more professional in his morning workouts heading into the Jim Dandy, and that is exactly what Sovereignty did in the mornings prior to winning the Derby and the Belmont, because Sovereignty was a horse that he wasn't as professional in his workouts, but then he started to get really good and mature, and he really turned it around. Baeza seems to be maturing as well. Now, Sandman, another horse pointing to the Jim Dandy, he added blinkers. He's going to add blinkers for the Jim Dandy. And his big Jim Dandy workout was a 5 furlong bullet back on July 5th. And then he completed his Jim Dandy preparations with a 4 furlong breeze in 49.01 seconds, 11th best of 33. That was at Saratoga on July 16th. Now, Hill Road for trainer Chad Brown. He's had 4 easy half-mile workouts at Saratoga since he ran and finished unplaced in the Belmont Stakes. And his most recent workout, 4 furlongs in 49 flat, 27th best of 99, that was on July 18th. And he's been working in company with his older stablemate and last year's Breeders' Cup Classic winner, Sierra Leone. Now, Plex, the possible pace setter in the Jim Dandy, he's a consistent New York bred, and he did come through with his first graded stakes victory in the Grade 3 Ohio Derby on June 21st. He's worked 3 times at Saratoga since that victory, including a 4 furlong move in 48.84 seconds, 22nd best of 78. That was on July 18th. So if I did have to pick an overall workout winner heading into the Jim Dandy of the 5 horses that I mentioned, it would be Baeza. But he will need to pick up his game to defeat Sovereignty, because he finished behind that one in the Derby and the Belmont. But it appears that Baeza is sitting on a decent race. We're just going to have to find out, is that enough to defeat Sovereignty, because Sovereignty looked really good defeating Journalism and Baeza in the Derby and the Belmont. And we saw Journalism come back and win the Grade 1 Haskell earlier today. So the best early speed horse in the 3-year-old division is Magnitude. He romped on the front end in his July 5th return in the Iowa Derby, and then he did the same thing prior to going to the sidelines in the Grade 2 Risen Star. So he was so impressive and fast in that Risen Star. Then he had a setback, and then he returned in the Iowa Derby, and he won that race easily. And he got back to the work tab with an easy half-mile breeze in 51.68 seconds, 34th best of 41 on the dirt training track at Saratoga. That was on July 19th, and he was out of 5 furlongs in 105.37. So if things continue to go well, a look for magnitude to show up in the Grade 1 Travers Stakes at Saratoga on August 23rd. Now let's talk about some of Bob Baffert's 3-year-olds. We just saw Goal Oriented finish a close third in the Haskell. He's got some other good 3-year-olds as well, including your 2-year-old champion, Citizen Bull. He followed up his big 4-furlong bullet on July 6th, and I mentioned that in my last video, with a 5-furlong move in 101 flat, 13th best of 31 at Santa Anita on July 14th. Now gaming, he also had a big bullet workout on July 6th, and then he worked on July 13th, a half mile in 47.60 seconds, 8th best of 116. Now Rodriguez, your Wood Memorial winner, he was most recently 4th in the Belmont Stakes. He had a 4-furlong bullet in 46.40 seconds, best of 38 at Santa Anita on July 14th. And that was his 3rd work since the Belmont Stakes. No word on his next start yet. Wouldn't be surprised if they go for the Pennsylvania Derby on September 20th, but we'll have to see what they end up doing because Baffert has multiple 3-year-olds and he's trying to shuffle them around. And that's it for the Baffert 3-year-olds. And the field has been set for the Curlin Stakes. That race is going to be run at 1 1/8 at Saratoga on July 24th, and it's going to go as the 9th race. Now, that restricted stakes event is a prep race for the Travers. 8 horses entered the field, including Grade 1 winner Chancellor McPatrick for trainer Chad Brown and his stablemate Strategic Focus. They worked in company recently, and they worked heads up. Strategic Focus is lightly raced and has a lot of upside. Now, other runners in the Curlin Stakes include Todd Pletcher's stablemates Uncaged and Crudo. They were 7th and 8th in the Belmont Stakes in their last starts. And then last out, allowance winner in a route race, that was Hypnos for trainer Kenny McPeak. So he looked good last time, and he's one that was highly regarded earlier this year, and Hypnos seems to be on track right now for McPeak. Now, if you're interested in my full card analysis this summer, I'm covering the entire Del Mar Summer Meet from July 20th through September 7th. I'm also going to be offering select Saturdays at Saratoga. I'm going to be doing some full cards at Saratoga. I plan on doing Jim Dandy Day, Saturday, July 26th. I'm going to be doing Whitney Day, August 2nd, and then Travers Day on August 23rd. So those are some of the cards that I plan on doing at Saratoga this summer, including also, as I said, the entire Del Mar meet I'm doing as well. You can go to the runawayhorse.com on my shop page for my upcoming full card schedule and to purchase my full card products. And I will include a link to my shop page in the video description below. I typically email my analysis 1 to 2 days before race day, and I update tickets after scratches the morning of each race day. Check out my Better Bets free picks blog at therunawayhorse.com. So if you go to therunawayhorse.com, at the top of my homepage, you'll see Better Bets free picks. You'll see that tab, click there. It'll take you over to my free picks page, and you'll get a free pick from around the country each day. And like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.